Sometimes a day on the water just doesn't start off the way you want it to, and you just have to hope it improves.
Son of a bitch.
So this is going to be one of those days. Just dropped a $600 camera on an $80 boom into the water, but I was fortunate enough to have a rod handy so I could snag it, pull it back in, get it set up properly for the rest of the day. So bad start, ready to get into the fishing, so let's just jump right in. Now during this trip, I went through and counted as I went through the video editing. I caught 14 total fish, and I just picked a few to show for this video just so you can get a sense of how the day went. So you can see here's one of the first ones that I'm bringing up, and it got a nice bend in the rod, but you can see exactly why. So I pull it in, it's not very big, and it turns out that I foul hooked it, which made it feel a lot bigger.
I think so. Out of Barna Cove. It's only 16. It bent the rod because I foul hooked it.
In this clip, I'm actually drifting the incoming along the edge of a channel. So the water's going anywhere from around 6 feet down to 14, and it's right at the bottom of that drop at 14 where I end up hooking into this one. Still working the edges of the channel. In this case, I'm actually just on the other side of a creek that's outletting into the main channel. So I'm trying to fish where the bait fish is going to get swept out of that creek and into the main area, and I'm only finding small things, and this one's actually kind of embarrassing.
Little guy.
So as we get closer to the top of the tide, my strategy is I'm going to start going shallower and shallower to take advantage of that warming water on the flats and in the shallow water. So you can see right here, once I hook into this, it is up to the top in seconds. It's only about 4.5 to 5 feet deep. Again, it's a small one. I'm still out near the main channel, but I'm going to push back into the sound where I think that there are going to be some better fish, and I'm going to find them. This one wasn't interesting to me. I'm actually doing something I don't normally do, and I'm fishing a dead stick to my right, and that's what I end up getting a hookup on. And I just have a live killie on a bucktail, and I'm just letting it drag bottom. The reason I'm doing that is I want to get this fish, or get multiple fish entered into a tournament, so I figured why not? We'll just put it out there and see what happens. And this is what happens. Now, it's still a short, but I'm just making that turn back into the sound. And this one's a little bit better than some of the other ones, so I'm starting to feel a little bit better, and now I'm getting pretty eager to just turn around and pedal on in, and that's what I do right after this. Now I'm back in the sound, and it's at the top of the high tide and just slack tide or turning to outgoing tide, and I'm jigging the shallow water 10 feet up to 4.5, and this is going to be a great fish there. You can see the strike, and it's on. Now I'll point out here, typical terrible net job by me, and you know, it's almost too big to get in the net easily, but it's it's a challenge. And I just want to point out, I am keeping its head out of the water as much as possible once I miss that first net, just to keep it from being able to shake off that bucktail. When it does its head shakes, it gives you maximum chance to keep it on if you mess up the net job, and it worked.
Not quite where I'm at, 24.
That's my fish. That's my fish I lost and ran back to the town. It's awesome, Pete.
So the official measurement is 24 inches. I did remeasure it later for a picture for a tournament, and it came in at exactly 24. So it's a nice solid fish. Ended up having that for dinner, so pretty happy with it. And this is what a 24-inch flounder looks like when you're not holding it out away from your body.
Nah, my son has a soccer game tomorrow. That's about it.
Now, following the 24, I now have my overslot for the day. In New Jersey, you can get 1 fish over 18 per day, and you can get 2 in between 17 and less than 18. So I'm back to looking for slots, and I'm still in the same spot, but it's still going to be the same challenge for me. So I actually end up, as you can see with this one, too small. I'm not going to be able to pull out a slot for the day. But overall, man, it turned out to be a great day. Anytime I can put in a 24-inch fluke in the backwaters and 4.5 feet of water, man, I'm just happy with that. So great day on the water at this point. Time to go back to the launch, pack it in for the day. Now that you've watched this, we actually did a full live stream where we talked about this day in detail and the changing conditions for flounder fishing in New Jersey for 2022. I recommend that you check that out. It's popping up on the screen. Also, as usual, subscribe is definitely appreciated. So until next time, get out on the water, get some tight lines.